Long Arc Photo, in conjunction with Mikado Production, present Trains Across the Kinzua Bridge. There were two different railroads during two distinctly different time periods which ran trains across the Kinzua Bridge. The first was the Bradford branch of the Erie Railroad, which built the first Kinzua Bridge of iron in 1882, then did the rebuild in 1900 of steel. The Erie used the Kinzua Bridge up until 1959, or for a period of 77 years. Here is rare 8mm film of a diesel freight train crossing the bridge in the late 1950s. The Erie-Bradford branch started when the state of New York commissioned the construction of 431-mile railroad that went east to west across the state. It ran from the Hudson River to Lake Erie and was completed in 1851. Here is a Swinburne 440 locomotive, the type of which would have run on the 1851 railroad. And here is a clip of a more modern steam-driven crack passenger train on the Erie Main Line. It would have been filmed just prior to dieselization, which was probably before 1950. The Bradford branch was created as an appendage of the Erie Main Line. Its junction with the main line was at Carrollton. Its purpose was to reach the Dagus and Toby minefields of Elk and Jefferson counties near Brockway. This soft bituminous coal from those mines was needed to fuel their fleet of steam locomotives. That was a distance of about 77 miles from Carrollton, New York. The Bradford branch was completed in 1872. The problem was that the tracks of the Bradford branch needed to be routed a circuitous route around the Kinzua Creek watershed, and those tracks had sharp curves and steep grades. This clip is from a 1990 crossing of the Knox and Cane, which shows how steep the canyon sides are. So the Erie, under General Kane's leadership, built the first bridge in 1882. By doing so, they reduced the length of the Bradford branch by about 4 miles. They abandoned the bridge in 1959 when the demand for coal evaporated because of conversion of their locomotives to diesels. The bridge sat idle until 1987 when Sloan Cornell of the new Knox and Cane Railroad reactivated the bridge and operated steam-driven excursion trains across it, originating in Marionville to the south. Sloan Cornell was a businessman, farmer, and hauler of Isley's dairy products in Blairsville, Pennsylvania. In the late 1950s, with the help from his family, he constructed his Penview Mountain Railroad. Then, in 1976, he established the Gettysburg Railroad. It ran daily round-trip excursions from Gettysburg to Biglerville, a 16-mile round trip of about 2 hours. But his greatest accomplishment was the formation of the Knox and Cane Railroad with crossings of the Kinzua Bridge. In 1982, the B&O abandoned their northern sub, which ran from Butler to Mount Jewett through the rugged Allegheny National Forest and towns like Foxburg, Knox, Marionville, and Kane. Purchased the line from Knox to Mount Jewett from the B&O. The B&O Northern Sub was originally the Pittsburgh and Western Railroad, yet another enterprise of General Kane. Then Mr. Cornell laid 4 miles of track from Mount Jewett to the Kinzua Bridge to connect it to his Knox and Cane Railroad. In 1987, Mr. Cornell began running daily excursion trains from Marionville to the Kinzua Bridge. These were 47-mile round trips, each taking up a good portion of the day. In 1990, the Knox and Cane purchased a brand new steam locomotive made in China, which was numbered SY1658M, the M indicating American specifications. For practical purposes, the locomotive was known as number 58. Here is a crossing of the bridge with number 58 on point, and here are a few running scenes to enjoy. If you want to know more about this topic, there are 2 DVD sets for sale at the Allegheny National Forest Visitors Bureau gift shop. The first is called History of the Knox and Cane Railroad and the Kinzua Bridge, which came out in 2013. It concentrates on the Knox and Cane era and costs $9.95. It has many minutes of running scenes of the Knox and Cane. It is comprised of 1 disc running about 1 hour. The second is a newer 2018 release called Trains Across the Kinzua Bridge. It's a 2-disc set running a little over 2 hours. It covers the history of a much broader time period and discusses more railroads with the individuals who were involved.